Greetings and salutations! Did you know last year the medium Steam achievements was only 16? I managed to get 811! And it's mostly due to little games like this. Yes, there's been a big flurry of these games in the last year, mostly hidden object games, but the biggest theme amongst them have been free, basically cat-themed games. And there's usually 100 cats to find and 100 achievements as every cat is named. Now, this one by Noobzilla, Cats and Seek, isn't too bad. It's one of the more recent ones. It was released in November 2023, and it's basically building upon a base of just having loads of DLC rather than making 20 or 30 different games, which I appreciate, especially since it's not trying to hide its achievements behind the DLC. So, it's pretty simple, and also this one's rather charming because you can actually paint things in a little bit, which is fun. It's got a speedrun mode, so it's had a little bit of thought behind it, and usually with these, the first bit's free, but the DLC you have to pay for. You can go continue, and this is a bit of a spoiler, you can see where I found most of the cats. I like this one, it's nice and simple, and you can do lots of little things with it, but many of them you can just reset. I think these are great for kids if you don't want to spend a load of money, but you want to essentially keep your kids entertained just during a small boring afternoon. Now, this is just one I wanted to highlight. There's not really much to it at this time because it doesn't have all the DLC yet, but the levels themselves are like £1.89, so I can say that's pretty acceptable for what you're getting. And there is a few little reasons to essentially replay them. Now, the other ones I want to cover, since I'm going to be doing quite a few of them today, are by a different group who have been making lots of games, and that issue with achievements being locked behind DLC, that was a thing until they recently changed it. Now, I thought that was against the rules of Steam. It's certainly against the rules of Sony. Now, this is the series by 100 Cozy Cats or 100 Hidden Animals. Their name changes depending on what time the game was released. I think 100 Cozy Cats is now their official title for developing and publishing, but they've gone through a few names. And their general theme is 100 something cats. So far we have Space, we have Dino, we have London, we have Robo, we have Paris, we have Pirate. We have Alien, Istanbul, Romantic, March, Ninja, Capitalist, and of course this one, Asian. And I mean, some of them haven't been released yet, some of them are upcoming. And they've had a little bit of work done because originally, as I mentioned before, you had to buy the buy the DLC to get all the achievements. The DLC is about 89 pence nowadays. You don't need to do it anymore. It's only if you want the second level. But they have heavily monetized their games. For example, nearly all of them you can buy the soundtrack for. The soundtrack being a single song that is about 60 seconds long. And, well, it's like £4.50, which is ridiculous because I've bought whole albums for that amount. They also have donation ranks, which give you a bonus cat, which is, again, ridiculous. I mean, I can understand wanting to chip a little bit of money in, but no one's going to throw you like £9 or £10 for this. I mean, let's go back a moment. You can reset these, by the way, and they do have little help ones if you need to find anything. I do appreciate the counter. It's nice in that regard. Certainly doesn't have quite as much love in its achievements and titling as the other example we've just seen. But the artwork is very varied between the games as well. Now, this is one of the nicer ones. I enjoyed this one. It was nice to look at. It was fun to do. But again, you go through it very quickly. So, let me just show you what some of the quality of some of the other games. Now, in my opinion, RoboCats is the worst one of the bunch, so I'll go to that one first. Now, here we have RoboCats. And the reason I dislike this one, because the cats are an afterthought. They have literally just been thrown in here, kind of like in ridiculous spaces. They don't even look like robotic cats, they just look like little blobs, a lot of them. Because when you see the picture, and some of the other ones, the cats are actually themed to the setting. I mean, the last one was just cats. yeah, that's fine. This one, it had pictures of like robotic cats to sort of sell it, but they're just thrown in randomly, not always correct with the perspective. And overall, the scene is just hard to take in because of all the detailing. I mean, I just think that they've used a different artist for this one, and it's just not gone well. This one was like quite unenjoyable, which is a shame, because if you had more of them like this one down here, this robotic cat, and I put a bit more thought into the cats themselves and their placement, as opposed to here we've made a picture of robots and now we're just going to fill it full of scribbles, it would have been a bit better. And the music's okay, it's got like the sci-fi sort of feel to it, but listening to it for like 10-15 minutes, not very fun. Continuing our journey, we are in Ninja Cats, and as you can see, even from the background, these ones have a bit more of a theme. There's an actual bunch of cats which are ninjas, and this is one of the ones I did get the DLC for. I essentially sold a bunch of Steam cards on the day, and I thought I'd use some of the money I got from those to, well, pick up the DLC for this to finish off the achievements at the time. And again, I quite like the pattern on this one. This one was actually kind of fun to play as well. It was relatively easy to find anything. The one you've got to look for in this is they like hiding them in pretty unfair positions. This is the one thing I don't like about the Cozy Cat games, because sometimes the cats just sort of meld into items, and it is not really a cat, more of a cat-shaped blob that you've like just stuck in his blocks there or into the posts. I guess it makes it a bit more like a traditional hidden object. You know. There we go. No, you get stuffed. I am actually rather sick of you always asking every time. And again, with this one was a real jerk about it. I mean, look at this. It's... I think they just didn't think of where they were going to... They drew the picture first and then tried to decide where they're going to put the cats in. I mean, in this case, it's supposed to be ninja cats. They're supposed to be good at hiding, pretending. But, again, could have been better. But at least the music was inoffensive and, well, it was just there, if I'm honest. Now, if I was going to go for the rest of the Cozy Cats games, but I thought, you know what, let's move away from their relatively aggressive monetization and go to some less aggressive monetization. Yes, this is Cats Head in Palace by Travelling Cats. They have a very similar line, and their focus is on different countries. Now, only the Paris one of that series is free. They've got a Christmas special as well. But here we go. This one actually comes with the speedrun mode as default. I have turned off the cat meows because they were driving me a bit mad. There we go. And of course, every cat you find is an achievement. Now, they don't have quite the charm that some of the others do, where they put a little bit of story about each cat in the achievement you find. But I appreciate this one actually has a decent zoom, which you do kind of actually have to use. Oh man, that ticking is stressful. Now, if I remember right, this one doesn't actually have a help option until you get down to the last few. A few of them don't allow you to activate their help options until you're on the last 10. There we go. I think I'm doing okay here. Ooh. But I'm not overly keen on this one, but at the same time, it's relatively inoffensive. I don't know why you can click the birds on this one. You didn't get an achievement for doing so. But it's a thing you can find as the various birds. There we go. I really don't like these ones that are hidden right up against the edge of the screen. Because in certain views, and also when you've got constant achievement messages popping up, a lot of the times they get hidden, and I just think that's a really cheap way of extending the playtime. Oh, I missed one over there. I thought I did. There we go. Let's keep going. What happened to the music? There we go. I've missed a lot of them, haven't I? But I have to wonder if there is actual speedrun times for this game, or several of the other games. That's a problem with big, large HUD. I'm down to the last 13. No! Oh, there we go. Missed you up there. Sure, there's probably a few of you looking at the screen and going, well, how has he not seen that cat? But I didn't want to do this for all of them, because I would spend an embarrassingly long time looking for them, I suspect. There we go. Yep, there's a bunch I just overlooked, and you can I think I've accidentally turned on speedrun mode. I'm pretty certain that now I've gone to 10, it should let me at least get a few hints. And most of the time the hints are not showing who the cat is exactly, but it zooms you into a certain section of the screen. There we go, last 7. I feel like I'm blind. Oh, there we go, there's one very obvious one there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Keep me distracted by the clock. Oh well. Well, I'm not going to spend a long time on this. I say they've got more of these coming out this year. It's actually surprising how long it takes them to release these, because it feels like this kind of game would be very quick and easy to make, but normally there's only like one released every 2 or 3 months. And I personally think, as a design point of view, it's probably to stop an oversaturation for people just racing through your gallery really quickly. But I think I'm going to give up on the last... Oh, no. Last 4. I think I might just give up on the last 3 for now, because I feel like I've already spent far too much time on just this one. Oh, no. Last 2. Oh, come on. Can I just spot them? I hate it. We've got this close to just finding them all, and just can't see where the last ones are. They're probably in the middle somewhere, or on the left, because I think I've spent more time looking on the right than I have on the left. Nope, I'm getting sidetracked. Yes, let's head on to the next game. Now I'm taking a look at Arcade Full of Cats. Now this is the one I actually recommend. If you're going to pay for any of these, it's this series by DevCats that I really do support. DevCats go out of their way to try and support adoption and raise awareness of how to rescue cats, and they do have a series of cat-themed games. A lot of them are hidden object, and they're all about £1.50 to £2.50, so it's not that expensive, still cheaper than quite a few of my bus fares. I was actually gifted this one, or at least the main game itself is free to play. The extra levels and the like, those are all those are all to pay for. But yeah, that was a Christmas present. But yeah, these are all the extra levels of the go back in time, and they do have a speedrun mode. They have actual endings and a slight plot. They have 2 different things to find. They also have mini games. So I'll just go to 1980 just to show. There's every time you go to a level, there's this little front bit where you can click and try and find hidden cats. There's also kind of 2 different types of cat. You have your main kind of just sort of cats in the picture, and this one's fun because there's a lot of stuff using the cats for references. So if you go slightly later in time, you'll see like cats as Street Fighter characters. And then you've got these purple cats where there's nothing on the screen there, but if you click on those locations, it kind of opens them up. So that would have a lid on it. You pop it open, cat appears. Those ones aren't entirely fair, but the help helps when you miss one of those. But nearly all of these have a mini game in them, like Cataroids, where you just go in there. It's another level to find things. This one was fun because you start here, and every cat you click appears inside the ship as you're sort of rescuing them. There we go. And as you can see, you've got this wonderful selection here. So let's... I'm I mean, that's DLC stuff. Let's jump to... Yeah, let's go to 1995. That was a good year for gaming. Okay, we go in. Got Feral Combat, X-Cats, Nap Time Crisis. I like Time Crisis. My claim to fame is actually completing the entirety of the first game on 1 credit in the arcade. There we go. Couldn't do that now, but I really got into that game. This one was like killing all the bugs in here. I just remembered it doesn't actually have a thing. But the fact you have to find all the cats, then find like the hidden token, then find which of the arcade machines you can play, is all a bit of fun. I'm not going to spoil the endings for you. I really recommend even just playing the free version of this one. And since it goes to sort of support cats and help out, this is the one I'd pay for. Again, plenty of achievements if you want them. And oh, no wonder. Yes, and you've got the very sort of sci-fi-esque theme. Each different level has its own little theme as well. But it's very tongue-in-cheek and very silly. It's better cyberpunk than I've seen in some games. Alright, well, thank you for listening to me ramble on this one, and it sounds like I am out of time. But I just wanted to raise awareness for this little genre, and of course none of them really deserved a episode by themselves, so I thought it'd be nice to jumble them all together and just go, there's a lot of people wanting to find cats out there, and they've got plenty of options.